February 4th is just around the corner, and if you're on Social Security, you won't want to miss this, because a payment of over $2,100 could be heading straight to your bank account. But here's the real question. Who exactly qualifies for this unexpected boost? Is it for every recipient or only a select few? In this video, we're diving deep into the details behind Social Security's February 4th deposit, breaking down the eligibility criteria, how much you can expect, and what you need to do to make sure you don't miss out. Whether you're a retiree, a disabled beneficiary, or receiving survivor benefits, this update could impact your finances in a major way. With new rules, recent adjustments, and some hidden factors that most people aren't talking about, this is crucial information that could mean thousands of dollars in your pocket. Stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly if you're on the list and how to prepare for the deposit hitting your account. Plus, I'll share insider tips on what to watch for in the days leading up to the payment so you can avoid any surprises. Don't miss out on what could be one of the most important Social Security updates of 2026. If you find this video helpful, make sure to smash that like button. It really helps others get this vital information too. Now let's jump right in. February 4th is almost here, and if you're receiving Social Security benefits, you need to be ready because there's a payment coming that could mean over $2,100 landing in your account. Now, I know you've probably heard about these payments before, but this one is different. It's not just a routine deposit. There's a lot of confusion swirling around who exactly qualifies for this payment, how it's being calculated, and what steps you need to take to make sure you actually receive it. So today, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know, step by step, so you're not left in the dark or scrambling at the last minute. First off, this isn't just a random payout. It's connected to recent adjustments the Social Security Administration has made because of inflation, cost of living increases, and changes in government policy. The key part here is that this payment isn't automatically hitting every Social Security recipient's account in the same way or amount. It's targeted, and understanding who's eligible and why is crucial if you want to make sure you don't miss out. One thing that's really important to grasp right away is how the payment is structured. The 2,100 plus figure is the headline number, but it's actually a combination of several factors. For some people, it will be a one-time supplemental payment designed to catch up for underpayments or delays from last year. For others, it may be an advance on expected cost of living adjustments that just kicked in for 2026. And then there are those receiving extra benefits due to new legislation aimed at providing additional support to vulnerable groups like disabled recipients or widows and widowers. So, depending on which category you fall into, your payment could look very different. Let's break down these categories a bit, starting with the most common: retirees who receive monthly Social Security payments. For you, the payment on February 4th is primarily tied to the recent cost of living adjustment, or COLA, that was announced late last year. This adjustment was about 2.8%, which might not sound like much, but when you apply that percentage increase across months or even years, it adds up. The government realized that many people didn't receive their full adjustment in the months immediately after the announcement, so this payment is partly designed to make up for that lag. If you've been receiving Social Security for a while, this could mean a lump sum deposited into your account on February 4th, which essentially brings your payments fully up to date. Now, the second group is disabled beneficiaries. This group has seen some important changes recently. The Social Security Administration has been rolling out extra support measures to help those on disability, especially given the rising costs of healthcare, housing, and daily living expenses. This February payment could include a supplemental boost beyond the standard COLA increase to help cover these additional burdens. So, if you qualify as a disabled beneficiary, this payment could be more than just a routine adjustment. It might be a lifeline designed to ease financial stress. And then there's the survivor benefits category, which often gets overlooked. Widows, widowers, and dependent survivors who receive Social Security payments will also see something different this year. New legislation passed recently included provisions for extra payments to these groups, recognizing the financial challenges faced after the loss of a loved one. The February 4th payment might include back payments or supplemental amounts designed to provide immediate relief, especially if previous payments were delayed or calculated incorrectly. This is huge because it means some survivors could see their accounts jump by a few $1,000s unexpectedly. But here's the catch. Not everyone will see this payment. Eligibility hinges on several factors including your income, the type of benefits you receive, and even where you live. For example, some states have their own rules about how Social Security payments are supplemented or taxed, which can impact the final amount you get. Plus, if you have other income sources or pensions, that can affect the size or even the presence of this payment. So, it's vital to understand your specific situation, rather than just assuming you'll get the full $2,100 or more. One of the biggest questions I've been getting is about the timeline. Why February 4th? Why not earlier or later? This date is tied to the government's internal schedule for rolling out payments and making adjustments based on the latest data from the IRS and the Social Security Administration. It's also strategically timed after the tax filing season begins but before the big wave of tax refunds hits, so the government can better coordinate benefits and avoid payment overlaps or errors. For recipients, this means that if your payment is going to arrive, February 4th is the day to watch your bank account closely. Now, how can you make sure your payment actually arrives smoothly? There are a few critical steps you should take right now if you haven't already. First, double-check that the Social Security Administration has your current bank account details. Any outdated information could cause delays or even the payment bouncing back. If you're still getting paper checks, it's highly recommended to switch to direct deposit as soon as possible. Paper checks take longer and are more prone to getting lost or delayed, especially with recent changes in IRS processing rules. Next, keep an eye on your online Social Security account. The SSA has been rolling out more real-time updates, so logging in a few days before and after February 4th can give you a heads up on when your payment posts. Also, be cautious of scams. Unfortunately, these kinds of payment events are prime opportunities for fraudsters to target recipients with fake calls or emails pretending to be from Social Security. Remember, the SSA will never ask for your Social Security number or banking details by phone or email. Another important detail to watch for is the tax implications of this payment. Because this $2,100+ payment might include back pay or supplemental amounts, it could affect your taxable income for 2026 or even trigger changes in your tax bracket. If you work with a tax advisor, this is a great time to check in and make sure you're prepared for any surprises when filing next year. There's also the question of how this payment might impact other benefits you receive, like Medicaid or food assistance programs. Some of these programs have income limits or asset thresholds, so a sudden lump sum could potentially change your eligibility. It's crucial to understand how this influx of money interacts with your overall financial picture, especially if you rely on multiple government programs to make ends meet. For those who might not be eligible for the full payment, or who don't see anything hitting their account on February 4th, don't lose hope. The Social Security Administration is continuing to roll out additional adjustments and support throughout the year. In fact, many of the new programs designed to help vulnerable groups will have staggered payment schedules, meaning there could be more deposits later in 2026 that you qualify for. Staying informed and connected with official SSA updates is your best strategy. And if you're wondering how all of this fits into the bigger picture of Social Security's future, it's a mixed bag. On one hand, the government is clearly trying to boost support in response to rising living costs and economic challenges. On the other, there are ongoing debates about funding and sustainability that might affect benefits down the road. That makes these payments more urgent and important right now, because every dollar counts in today's economy. I also want to touch on the emotional side of this. For many recipients, Social Security isn't just a number, it's the foundation of their financial security and independence. Knowing a payment like this is coming can provide peace of mind, help cover bills, or even allow for a little breathing room in tough times. But the uncertainty about who qualifies and how much they'll receive can create stress and anxiety. That's why sharing clear, accurate information is so important. and why I want you to feel empowered by what you learn here. Let's talk about some practical tips for managing this payment once it arrives. If you're fortunate enough to receive the full amount, it's tempting to spend it quickly or cover immediate expenses. While that's understandable, it's also wise to think about how this money can serve you best over the coming months. Setting aside a portion for unexpected costs, using some for paying down debt, or even investing in small home repairs or healthcare needs can stretch the impact far beyond just one paycheck. For those receiving smaller amounts or partial payments, remember that every bit helps. Even a few $100s can cover essentials or ease financial pressure. Tracking how you use this money and planning ahead can make a big difference in maintaining stability. There's also a growing trend of using Social Security benefits to support family members, whether that's helping adult children with education costs or supporting grandchildren. If you're in that situation, this payment might open up new possibilities for shared financial relief or investment in the future. One last point I want to raise is about advocacy and awareness. Social Security programs are shaped by public policy and political decisions, and the more people understand how these payments work, the stronger our voices become in calling for improvements and protections. Sharing this information with friends, family, or community groups can spread awareness and help others get the support they need. So, as we count down to February 4th, keep these insights in mind. The $2,100+ payment is real, but it's wrapped in details that matter. Know your eligibility, prepare your accounts, watch for updates, and think about how best to use the funds if they come your way. This isn't just about money, it's about your financial security and peace of mind in 2026. And remember, the story doesn't end with this payment. The Social Security landscape is always evolving, so staying informed and engaged will help you navigate whatever changes come next. Keep checking official sources, stay connected with trusted advisors, and don't hesitate to ask questions. Right now, the biggest step you can take is to make sure you're ready for February 4th, because when that payment hits, you want to be on the list, fully prepared and in control. Now, as we wrap up, it's crucial to remember that this February 4th payment is more than just a number on your bank statement. It's a sign that your government recognizes the challenges you face and is trying in its own way to ease the burden of rising costs, healthcare expenses, and everyday necessities. But the system is complex, and not everyone will see the same amount, or any payment at all. That's why staying informed, proactive, and vigilant is your best defense. Keep your information up to date. Watch for official announcements, and don't fall prey to scams or misinformation. If you haven't already, set a reminder to check your Social Security online account on and after February 4th. Seeing that deposit hit can bring real relief and a little breathing room in what can feel like a constant financial struggle. Use this opportunity wisely, whether that means covering bills, building a small emergency fund, or investing in your health and well-being. Every dollar matters, and this payment could make a meaningful difference in your life. Above all, remember you're not alone in this. Millions of Americans rely on Social Security, and together, your voices matter. Stay connected with communities, resources, and advocacy groups to keep pushing for the support you deserve. This payment is just one chapter in a larger story of financial security and dignity for seniors, disabled individuals, and survivors. So, as you prepare for February 4th, be ready, be informed, and most importantly, be empowered. This payment could be the lifeline you've been waiting for, and now you have the knowledge to make the most of it. Thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you understand what's coming and what to do, please hit that like button. It really helps others find this vital information too. Stay safe, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next update.